Hi everyone! Now that Diablo 4 Open Beta is live, there are probably a lot of you guys jumping into the game for the first time. I want to give you some quick tips about how to make your own build work and how to just have fun with your own first character. Of course, you can follow some of our guides, but not everyone wants to do that. Everyone maybe just wants to explore. So I can give you some of the baseline guidelines about how to make your own character. So if you start out with your character, it doesn't matter which class, you'll always have these different categories of skills. You have basic, core, and then usually have some kind of mobility skill or defensive skills like these. And then you have some other category of skills. For example, there's the imbuance on the rogue or mastery skills on the sorceress. And then you have ultimates and finally the key passives right at the bottom. These cannot be reached in the open beta right now because you need too many levels to actually unlock them. But all the other stuff can be reached. There are these normal skills, and then there are passes on the tree. The passes are these small round ones. And these are the skills, and they always have one enhancement and 2 upgrades. You can choose one of them. So in general, you want to try to find synergies between the different skills that you're using and make sure that you spend those points wisely because you don't have very many of them. So typically builds revolve around one of the core skills. For example, here I'm playing a penetrating shot rogue. So I have maxed out the skill. You see it has a rank 6 out of 5 with 1 item contribution. So this is maxed out and a bit boosted further. And then you have the enhancement and one of the upgrades. These upgrades can actually make quite a difference. In some cases, they are kind of like the reason to use a certain skill. It really depends though on which skill exactly we are talking about. In some cases, you also have skills that just work on their own with literally just 1 point invested. For example, dash here or shadow step. So these are like these 1 point wonders. Like a lot of the defensive skills and mobility skills in particular are just great to have with literally 1 point. So you can just throw it in there and then you get an extra skill slot. I've seen other people try, for example, to have like multiple basic skills or multiple of the core skills. You know, for example, on the rogue, they could do like flurry and rapid fire or something like that. Well, this is technically possible. It's probably too much of a waste of points to really be like effective, at least at this early stage in the game. Maybe there are other synergies that unlock later that would actually allow you to have this kind of combination. So in general, you should just focus on one of the skills and invest into that. I hope you're enjoying this video. I want to take a short moment to highlight the sponsor of today's video, ExitLag. If you haven't heard about them yet, they provide a proxy service that allows you to have a better connection for the games you're playing. For example, they have just recently updated their software to include Diablo 4 for the open beta, so that you can download it right now with a 3-day free trial and try it out for yourself. When I was playing during the first beta weekend, I constantly had a really bad ping in the range of 100 milliseconds or above most of the time. But by connecting through the ExitLag software, I'm able to bring down that latency to sub 60 milliseconds, almost half. ExitLag has servers all around the world, so they can always find the best connection for you to connect to certain servers. And they cover tons of games. They have over 1,000 games optimized for their software, so you can just browse the library and connect to the right game server through the software. They even offer some other fancy features, like for example combining 2 internet lines into one, so that when one of them fails, you can continue gaming without any interruption through the other line. You can sign up on their website for free to try out the software for yourself, and what better time than now with the open beta running and the servers being very unstable and laggy and having long login queues. And if you want to get a huge discount for the annual subscriptions they offer, you can scan this QR code or use the referral link down in the description. So here I just unspec'd all of my skill tree and I can show you how I would actually approach making this penetrating shot rogue here that I just had. So you start out, you need to spend 2 points in the basic skills to get unlock the core skills. So you see here there's always this number that shows you how many more points you need to spend to get there. And you get 1 point per level up starting at level 2. And you get 2 points from the renown system. So in total you have 26 in the beta. So the renown system is this here. When you open the map, there's this renown reward. And once you complete some of these objectives here, you will get more and more of these points. So in the case of this penetrating shot rogue, I would play like a full archer. So we go forceful arrow, we take the upgrade, and then we unlock the penetrating shot here. So we go with this and those 3 points here. And you see now there's 1 more point to unlock those skills here. So I'll just take the upgrade. And like this, I have 3 points here, 3 points there. And you already have like generator plus spender build, so to say, with 2 abilities. Yeah, then you definitely want to pick up some of these like extra tools that you unlock. So in most cases, this is that mobility, like leap, teleport, etc. You're going to take that with like 1 point or so. But see, for example, I have an item that gives me dash here. So I wouldn't really have to pick it up right now. I'm just doing it for the video here. But if you have that, for example, from, you know, some boots or pants or something that gives you like this ability, you don't really need to invest into it. So this is actually a great way to save points and then put them into some other stuff that can buff you. Then we have, for example, Shadow Step. You can just run with those 2 skills. And for now, I would be like level 9 or something. And then my build would look like this. So I can just pick this up here and already like run around. I can shoot. I can teleport to enemies. And I have some kind of like working build already with 2 empty slots. And you see now we need 4 more points. So at this point you can actually just like max out your main ability, for example, and you're gonna be like level 13 or something, and you unlock the next category. In this case, for example, I'll take Smoke Grenade. It's a nice defensive tool. And we can also get in something like Dark Shroud, for example, for some defense. You can take the upgrade here, you can take those upgrades so we get some crit chance, and boom, we have those unlocked. And we are at 6 abilities. Now you saw that this build looks a bit different from the one I had at the start, where I had Shadow Imbuement. This is, for example, a quite important skill for most rogue builds to improve your AoE clear. It can also give you energy. So there are some of these kind of like universally useful tools on most of the classes down in this tree here that you might want to pick up. So in this case, you might want to pick up Shadow Imbuement, but then you also want to get rid of one of the other skills here, because now our bar is full. So I would like to do something like this, for example, instead of the Shadow Step. So now in order to get rid of this Shadow Step here, you need to put another point somewhere else first, because you can't remove it. So when you right click this, it tells you that you cannot refund the skill right now because you just barely reached this Shadow Imbuement. So you need to have this minimum requirement of X points spent to actually keep this. So now in order to actually get the Shadow Imbuement and remove, for example, the Shadow Step, you have to spend another point further up in the tree. So before you get this Shadow Imbuement, you want to put it, for example, somewhere here in Weapon Mastery. This is like a really nice, useful offensive passive for rogue builds. There are others like that on the other classes as well. And then you can remove the Shadow Step and you still have this section unlocked, and you can put it in Shadow Imbuement, for example. And like this, we can change our skill. And we can continue on with putting more points. So sometimes I have to like move around these points a little bit, and be aware that when you want to especially change some skills that you used as like a filler early on, you would have to do some, you know, moving around basically. Yeah, then you can pick up, for example, these upgrades here and some supporting passes. With Shadow Imbuement, there's one good combo with Consuming Shadows that gives you lots of energy back. And then you're basically done with your tree, and you can just try to like, you know, spend these points in like a few various places here. At the end, you can also pick up the ultimates if you like, especially without Renown, exactly at level 25. You can put 1 point into these ultimates, and then with 2 Renown, you get 2 extra points for these upgrades here. On most of my rogue builds, I didn't do that, but for example, on most of my bar builds, I did. So that depends a little bit on the class and what exactly you're doing. Ultimates are not necessarily like, you know, the choice, but they can be very useful. I hope I could help you out of this video. If you are interested in some of my own builds, I do have them here on Discord. I've already shown this a few other times, but I just want to highlight this again real quick. There is like this channel here with my own builds that I've played during the beta, and I'm filling it up as we go. So for example, now for this weekend, there's going to be a lot of Druid and Necro builds added to that. But in the end, I also want to encourage your own experimentation. So I wish you good luck in the open beta. I'm having a ton of fun with the game myself. Hope you liked this video, and I'll see you guys next time.